It was a chilly autumn evening on Willow Street. Daniel walked home slowly, his backpack heavy with books, and his mind heavier with worry. The sunset painted the sky in orange and pink, but he barely noticed. College life was wearing him down, long classes, part-time work, and the loneliness of being far from home. Most nights, he hurried past the corner shops without a glance. But that night, something made him stop. Outside a dusty little convenience store, an old man sat quietly on a wooden stool. His face was lined with stories, his clothes simple but neat, and his eyes stared down the empty street as if waiting for someone. Daniel slowed, curious. For some reason, he couldn't look away. Daniel hesitated as he walked past the corner. Something inside pulled at him, and he turned back toward the old shop. The man outside lifted his eyes and offered a faint smile, the kind that carried both kindness and mystery. Daniel stopped, unsure, but managed to answer when the man greeted him softly, "Evening." His own reply was nervous, yet the silence that followed felt strangely comfortable. The shop itself looked forgotten, with its faded sign and dusty windows, as though time had slowed there. The old man's voice broke the quiet. "You look like you're carrying the world on your shoulders." Daniel let out a tired laugh. "College does that to you," he admitted. The man nodded with a wisdom that seemed earned. "Life has its seasons, some heavier than others." And though only a few words were spoken, Daniel felt something ease inside him. For the first time in weeks, he wasn't rushing, he was simply present. The next evening, Daniel found himself walking down Willow Street again. He wasn't sure if it was habit, or curiosity, but his eyes searched for the old man. Sure enough, there he was, sitting in the same spot, calm and unshaken, as though the world outside barely touched him. This time, Daniel approached without hesitation. "Back again?" the man asked with a gentle smile. Daniel nodded, a little embarrassed. "I guess so." They began talking, at first about small things like the weather and the quietness of the street. But slowly, the conversation deepened. Daniel spoke about the stress of exams, his worries about the future, and how lonely he sometimes felt in the city. The old man listened quietly, his eyes kind and patient, never interrupting. When Daniel paused, the man simply said, "You're not as alone as you think. Sometimes, what we need is not answers, but someone to hear our story." Those words stayed with Daniel long after he walked away.